Hi, my name is Julia M. Spencer. I'm a real estate advisor, investor, and your number one source for real estate advice online. So this video is about insurances and that you should really stay on top of your homeowner's insurances. So just very recently here, I actually checked over my insurance information on one of my homes, just one. And that started basically snowball to check all of them. And this has been taking about 3 months now, and it's still ongoing basically. So my portfolio of real estate, I have properties that are financed by a mortgage, and of course the tax sale properties that I've bought at auctions that are not insured through any kind of escrow. They don't go through escrow, the payment. Instead, I have to make the payment myself. So just this recent, I decided to shop around a little bit on one of my mortgages, specifically because it's a property I purchased from somebody else and the loan is still in their name. So the insurance is still in their name too, which kind of is a bad thing in case the place, for example, burns down or something happens. The payout will be to the person that has the mortgage loan, which is not the owner of the property, which is another kind of business deal I can explain to you guys at some point in time. But just a short version of this is the property belongs to me, full and clear, but I am paying the mortgage that's in somebody else's name on that property. And believe it or not, that's possible. And nobody really says anything as long as you make the payment. But the problem is the insurance was also in that person's name, and I didn't want that. So after going back and forth with this original owner and asking him to change the beneficiary to me, it just proved way too difficult. So I decided, let me just get another insurance altogether. So I was able to get another insurance and everything was fine. And I realized that most insurance companies will prefer it if you insure everything with them. And I think that has a lot of different reasons. One of the reasons is, of course, it's more business for them. But the other reason is they get to see your full insurable picture. So if they have your homeowners, your car insurance, your whatever boat insurance, your renter's insurance, whatever insurance you got, they want it all because they want to see how much overall of a risk you are. Because if you had a bunch of claims on the other ones and you're getting a new insurance, of course they're going to price you higher, and that's going to give them a little bit more of an assessment of how much of an insurance risk you actually are. So we're parked now. So let me just go through this because it's kind of difficult to explain. So this particular, let's say it's property A. I tried to get new insurance on it. So I called the insurance company, I called several, and they are basically always send you these flyers with these really cheap offers. But when you call them, of course, the price is a little bit different, which is fine. So I was finally able to get new insurance on this property, but of course they're going to charge me twice as much because I'm not the person that lives there. And also it is no longer a owner occupied property. It's now a tenant property. And so, of course, it's a little bit more. However, the insurance agent said if you add all the other insurances like car insurance and all the other rental properties you have, you might get a discount on those. And then that kind of evens things out. And I was like, okay, well, show me the numbers. You know, I'm willing to listen. If I can save money, that's always a good thing. So I ended up moving every one of my policies to this particular insurance company. And I think I can tell you guys who it is because I'm not going to say anything bad or wrong. So while as before I was insured through 3 or 4 different insurance companies, I am now completely with Allstate. So my car insurance for all my cars, my son's car, as well as my own home, and of course properties like all my rental properties. So everything got moved over. So this is why I'm making this video. I want you guys to be really careful about this. What happens when you switch, first off, when you switch insurance companies is they will tell you they will sell you a property on the moon, I should say. It's a bad analogy, but they will sell you whatever as long as you're going to buy it. So they're going to promise you whatever as long as you're going to buy it. So I'm actually really happy that I have been visiting Mexico for the last couple of years, because I understand these sales tactics finally. It's kind of like a timeshare sales pitch. Just tell them whatever as long as they sign on the line. Same with the insurance here. So they promised me all these good rates. We moved all the insurances over. I thought everything was done. I'm good. I'm moving to other tasks. It's not the only thing that I have to do every day is to deal with my insurance. So I'm away for about a month, and I get an email saying that one of my insurances is about to be canceled. And actually, they canceled 3 of them. So while I thought everything was handled and everything was kosher and good to go, apparently I was at a risk and actually had some of those insurance policies canceled, to the point that I didn't even have insurance coverage for a period of time on some of them. And it was for various reasons, which they didn't tell me about, of course, when I signed up. So they look up, of course, the properties, they see if they're insurable, and then they sign the contract. You make the first payment, policy is in place as of that moment or within 24 hours or whatever. And then they decide, oh, okay, let's look at these a little bit older properties. Let's see what they look like. And then they send inspectors. Now, I'm familiar with the fact that insurances send inspectors to make sure that they know what they're insuring, especially for older properties. But they don't actually tell you when they're coming or that they're coming. And a lot of times what happens is when they find something, for example, this particular house here where I'm at, I can show it to you. You can see it's been on my previous videos. I still own this house. Actually, I bought it for like $1,500. They said that there was moss growing on the roof and I had to remove the moss. At this point, I am somewhere between Germany and Mexico. I was actually on the way to Mexico, and I'm like, how am I supposed to do that now? Like, first off, it was an old roof. I wanted to replace it anyways, and so I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars or even $1,000 to get moss removed that's growing on the side of the roof, just to get this insurance coverage for that to stay in place. I might as well just get another insurance, or I should have stayed with the insurance I had originally. So I'm like, okay, well, the roof needs to be replaced. It's time for that anyways. Let's just get that done. So I ended up replacing the roof. Not because of this, but because I had to do it anyways, and I didn't have to spend extra money for removing moss off a roof that I wanted to have replaced anyways. So now, of course, they want proof. They want me to climb up there and take the pictures from the same angles that the inspector did and send it to them along with a receipt that I replaced the roof. Fine. It's just something I hadn't expected to do at this point in time. So while I'm checking on this morning, I realized that one of my other properties is due to be canceled within just a couple of days. And that policy actually had escrow. So it wasn't even for me to pay this. This is something that goes through escrow. So try to track down what actually happened. Because when I signed up for the property, for this insurance for this particular property, the insurance agent says, give me your loan number and the servicing agent and we'll contact them and get that switched over. But whatever the case was, whatever they sent, it was never sent, it was never received. And my escrow company didn't know that there was a switch in insurance whatsoever. Moreover, I can't just go in and just make the payment because the payment is made by a third party, so I can't even make the payment. So all this hassle and all this stress brought me to property number 3, which is now also about to be canceled unless I provide them more information on the property repairs. So what I'm trying to say with all of this, and this is all not really that urgent in the fact that it's not an emergency or anything like that. And this is something that you, as the property manager of your properties or your property manager, supposed to be doing anyways to check up on this. But just don't rest on your laurels once you get insurance thinking that you actually have insurance. Like, you definitely need to start a folder, or I have like a paper stack now for specific things that I check up on with specific dates, and I make sure that insurance is still in place, payment has been sent and received, when is the next due date, preferably set it up automatically to be paid from a credit card so you don't have to worry about it, and things like that. So you have to really, really stay on top of this, especially with insurance companies that don't collect their money from escrow. But even if ones that do collect from escrow, you do need to check up on. That goes also for your personal residence. So it's very important to stay on top of this. Now, as far as savings, it does for sure most definitely pay to shop around. But not all apples are oranges or oranges are apples. So a lot of times you'll get a quote for much less coverage than what you had before, and the price will be lower, and you're like, cool, less price, but do you really get the same amount of coverage? So that's another thing you need to check up on. Once you get the policy declarations page, compare that with your old policy and see where the differences are. You may have to adjust. Also, recently, a lot of my property values have gone up and up and up and up, and my insurance stays the same. So I need to adjust. I need to add more insurance, or I need to change the deductible or something. I need to always stay on top of this insurance. It's up to this point, when you don't have a lot of properties, it's not really a whole lot for you to do. But when you get into the range of managing your own portfolio, it's very important. And you really can't afford to go without insurance. You have to have some sort of insurance. I should probably make a separate video about homeowners insurance for long-term tenants as opposed to homeowners insurance for short-term rentals. The prices are different, the coverages are different. Depending on where your property is located, like coastal areas where my properties are, a lot of things they don't even cover, like wind and hail damage is sometimes excluded. So it's really, really important to stay on top of it. What I'm trying to say with this video, go and pull the policy declarations page of your current policy and call 2 or 3 agents and see if you can get different quotes to start with. And then start comparing. Try to tell the new agents the exact same coverages that you currently have, and then compare the prices. And in my case, even though the one policy, the initial one that I switched, was more expensive, adding the other ones actually gave me a lot of savings. And for sure I got savings when I added my car insurance and my son's car insurance to it as well. We're very safe drivers, and Allstate has some sort of app that tracks your driving habits so that they can see if you're a safe driver or not, and that gives you additional points or reduction in price, which was actually pretty convenient. I'm not going to go and make an advertisement for Allstate or anything. I don't get any kickbacks from them. So far, so good, let's say it that way. There's other insurance companies out there. I don't know if I'll stick with them, but we'll see. But it's just been really a roller coaster ride for the last 3 months just to get everything signed up, make sure the payments are in place, make sure all the inspectors pass through all the properties and give me all their reviews, all the repairs that are being done. It's just been one thing after another, and I'm hopefully finally completed. I'm at this house now. I'm going to take pictures of the roof. I'm still waiting for the invoice, the paid off invoice from my contractor, which is what the insurance company also requested. And hopefully they don't find any issues, because I don't think we're completely done yet. We still have to do the suffix, I think it's called, right around the border of the home. And my contractor doesn't have time for that for another 3 weeks. But the insurance will cancel in 1.5 weeks if I don't give them proof that everything has been done. So we might have to do a little bit of a stall tactic. We'll see. Anyway, always an adventurous day if you invest in real estate. There's never a dull day. So, oh, and by the way, when they replaced the roof, they also removed the chimney, which I wasn't using anyways, because I have an HVAC system in the house now, a modern one. But of course, nobody told me that I needed to actually cover the chimney space on the inside of the house. So I've been on my knees scrubbing the black sud off the floor around the chimney, around the fireplaces, 2 fireplaces in this home. So guess we should have closed up the inside before we removed the chimney. Didn't know that either. So lessons learned. You guys can sit in your seat, watch my YouTube channel, and laugh your butts off, because that's exactly what these videos are for. Until next time, make sure you subscribe, check out my newsletter, and let me know if you have any mentoring questions or anything like that. And I look forward to hear from you and see you investing very successfully very soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.
And here's another car video. Stuck in traffic, stop and go. So I figured I'll do this quick video to let you know what in the world I have been up to all morning, because it was annoying as hell. Actually, I need to now drive because we're moving. Next traffic jam's coming up, and I forgot my glasses, and it's so bright out. And we're moving and bumping, so I'm gonna wait to finish this. I'm not the person that lives there.